biotherapeutics, its insights. I am Professor Mandal from Gaurbanga University, India. So before going to the main points of today's discussion, we have to concentrate on the focus, such as introduction. That is the present situation of COVID and the treatment, which is mainly based upon the repurposable existing drugs, and biotherapeutics may be tried with plant and probiotics. Combined therapy, that means the repurposable drugs which are available already, and we can mix the phytotherapeutic agents as well as probiotics with that to get better effect. And then there's safety aspects, that is phytotherapeutic agents and probiotics. Though these are very important and these are non-toxic, still we have to know that toxicity on cellular level or in the human system in clinical level. And thereafter the conclusion of this, we know the SARS-CoV-2 virus has emerged in China first. It has already been 9 months past, and the pandemic is still on and getting very much difficulties to us to control. And the total patients is now crossed 30 billion millions, and the death about 10 lakhs. This is situation in 3 different Americas, Southeast Asia, and Europe. These are the 3 WHO regions. These are top cases, and top deaths are seen also in Americas, Europe, and Southeast Asia. And these are the situation in India. India's map is represented here. So the situation is very bad throughout the world. And this is the figure of India. The cases are increasingly seeing, but the growth rate are decreasing. And that you have represented a slide here. The 1 million case to reach, it take 170 days, but another 1 million, that means 2 million, only 21 days. Thereafter to get 3 million, 16 days only, and thereafter 13 days, 4 million, and now it is so increasing in rate and non-stoppable. So we have to see the therapeutics. Actually, against SARS-CoV-2 or the COVID-19 treatment, there are no specific treatments or vaccine, but some drugs which are anti-parasitic, anti-malarial, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, these are repurposing, and different vaccines are under processed which are in phase 1 trial but not developed. It will take many times, maybe taken 1 hour. So we have to wait for the vaccines against COVID-19. And this is not a part of my discussion today. I am fixed to phytotherapeutics as well as probiotics. So what are the treatments? Actually, repurposable drugs are the treatment. You see, at various druggable sites, the different drugs were taken on account for the treatment of virus, actually infection of virus that caused COVID-19. Different drugs which are available for repurpose are azithromycin, baloxavir. So if you see that they are entry level, chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine, and azithromycin, these are very active against their entry. And in replicase, the replication, the ivermectin, lopinavir, nitazoxamide, these are available for their treatment. And PL-Pro and CL-Pro, these are main proteases, and lopinavir, ritonavir are used, and some drugs are also available, remdesivir, salulimab, tocilizumab. These are anti-inflammatory agents, and these are repurposed, but not the actual treatment for the disease. So there are no treatment protocol, and we may see for the alternatives. And first, I have to discuss on phytotherapy. Quinone. This was synthesized. This was actually derived from cinchona plant, and initially it was treated against malaria. But from quinine, two agents, chloroquine and hydroxychloroquines, were synthesized. That means these are synthetically derived from quinine, and these are now active against various diseases, starting from malaria to rheumatoid arthritis, and are capable of entry of SARS-CoV-2 virus, but it may have some hazardous effects such as heart disease. For heart patient, it is not good. So we have looked for another that is very old. This is treatise. They utilized 21 ingredients, and when it was used as decoction, the lung clearance with virus was possible. So these were first tried. And some phytochemical since here we can see that against SARS-CoV-2 and SARS-CoV, this causes SARS and this causes COVID-19. The T that from which we can found epigalactocatchin gallate, epicachi gallate, and galactocatchin. These are main components of tea extract, and some other components which are phenols, polyphenols, actually flavonoids. These are also active against SARS-CoV, and their active sites is AMPRO and the angiotensin converting enzyme. These are the receptor for the virus to enter into the human cell. And again, we have seen that SARS-CoV-2 computerized technique were followed to determine their antibacterial activity for the treatment of COVID-19. And these are the main receptors, these are the targets. That means 3CL-Pro. These are the targets. 3CL-Pro actually were active for these agents. And here 4 agents. Ketolamide is the control, bendusulfin, dimethoxyflavin, and sesame. These are 3 agents which were derived from plant, and they were very active against SARS-CoV. Actually, they work on AMPRO and AMPRO also of Mars. These are the active agents derived from different plant extracts and active against very old virus which is called common cold disease. This is also a coronavirus, and another coronavirus were treated also, which are SARS-CoV and SARS-CoV-2, that was COVID-19. And in this table we have seen that some structural features are given for some components, of which main are component 6, that is dimethoxyflavone, another is sesame, and the third one is bendusulfin. Because their binding affinity against their binding sites are very high, that means they took very low energy for their binding. So these may be applied for the treatment of SARS-CoV-2 infection. And here, if we justify, these are some drugs available for treatment of different kinds of diseases, infectious diseases, as well as rheumatoid arthritis. But we have seen when we will use against SARS-CoV-2, that means for the treatment of COVID-19 patient, then we can see among 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, PRO, PL-Pro, 3CL-Pro, RDRP, TMP, RSS2, and ACE2. For those receptors, they are active against only one. But if we now see that these are the plant components derived from different plants, they have binding sites for all the targets. So these are very active compared to the available drugs which are under treatment for the COVID-19. Now we have seen that different phytochemicals, including phytoestrogen, dihydroxynone, betulinic acid, dithymoquinone, these are respectively responsible for the inhibition of entry of virus attachment, multiplication, as well as interaction with their host. Some new techniques, including FREDs, have been applied in order to justify the activity of different plant extracts and their components such as hirsutinone, ethanol extract, xanthua, ethanol, myristotin, and ethanol extracts and methanol extracts of cybotium. See this, these methods were used and their dosage or concentration required were very minimum in micro level. In the micro level that was required. So the plant extracts that can give us different phytocomponents are very active against treatment of COVID-19, and that's why these may be considered for their use against treatment of COVID-19. See this, there are 4 druggable sites: 6LU7, 6LVN, 6LXT, 6VSV. All these are their location are presented in this figure. They have been studied against different components, of which EGCG, epigalactocatechin gallate, derived from tea extract. This is phytocomponent, and other 2 drugs available for treatment of other infection including COVID-19, which are remdesivir and chloroquine. If we compare such agents, then we are seeing that the binding affinity, the energy needed by EGCG is very low. That means binding affinity is very high compared to remdesivir and chloroquine. So this may be used, epigalactocatechin gallate derived from tea extract, and their requirement doses are represented here. Also, we have seen that compared to remdesivir and chloroquine, the amount is low, and in some cases this is high, but these are very good for the treatment of COVID-19. We have seen that beside EGCG, epigalactocatechin gallate, thioflavin at different forms are available in the extracts, and what they are doing inhibition of structural protein on the viral structure, and EGCG inhibit also the 3CL Pro, also interaction with the host surface, that is ACE2, angiotensin converting enzyme for binding. TF also inhibits spike protein as well as RDRP. So we are seeing that the plant derivatives compounds are very interesting for the development of COVID-19 treatment. And we know for each drug during their discovery, their clinical trial as well as FDA approval is required. We have not seen before that plant extracts derived components were clinically trialed and applied for Food and Drug Administration report positively and for their approval. But here we have seen that these 2 components are under treatment and applied for their clinical trials. Now, see this, these are different compounds: yellow amodine, citranone, ditarpine, elliptone, emetine, epicachin, ashwagandha, nalirine. These are best and remarkable drugs. Their ADME properties are represented here and may be utilized for the drug discovery against COVID-19. Some bioactive components, these are presented here. We have seen that we can get different phytochemicals from plant extracts, and they are of different categories such as alkaloids, flavonoids and cholones, phenolic compounds, tannins, glycosides, steroids. And that's why very active, and they can utilize different targets of the virus to kill them, and these are very active compared to the drugs available currently, because they belong to different groups and their mechanism of action are different. These are some components that have different druggable sites, druggable targets. They can act against helicase enzyme. So helicase activity of virus is stopped. Such components presented here, these are active against ACE2, angiotensin converting enzyme 2. Also, some compounds available from plants are active against TMP are SS2 as well as PL Pro and 3CL Pro, against which some phytochemicals are active and can be utilized in the discovery of plant medicine. Here we know Hypericum perforatum Jones wort extract. This is active against SARS-CoV-2 as well as Hyperin derived from this plant are active equally against SARS-CoV-2 virus. Actually, they act against NF-kappa B, mitogen activated protein kinase, and STAT. Actually, these are responsible for producing pro-inflammatory cytokines that cause hypercytokinemia. And if we use such agents, we can see that these cannot be act. That means these pathways will be inhibited. And that's why we can utilize further for the development of drug against COVID-19 too. And if we utilize curcumin in combination with zinc, curcumin bind with RBD, receptor binding domain, as well as S protein, spike protein, and zinc act against RD-RB, RNA dependent RNA polymerase. So in combination, if we use, then we will get better treatment efficacy and may be utilized. Another effect has also have the curcumin. It can act against fibrosis, that it can prevent fibrosis formation in the lung after the entry into the lung tissue. Also act against pro-cytokines, pro-inflammatory cytokines, but these can activate the production of anti-inflammatory agents as well as can stop oxidative stress. So curcumin is very active against SARS-CoV-2 and it can be utilized, but further test is required. Now we have seen that plant extracts are very important and we can get effective treatment from them. Here these features shown that we can get our food, that means nutrition as well as immunity from food, and plant molecules can be applied or impregnated to the mask that we are using for the protection against SARS-CoV-2 virus. Also we are spraying in the air for aerosol inhibition and washing, sanitizing the floor of houses so that the contact of SARS-CoV-2 may be inhibited. So plants are very important against COVID-19 as well as the virus SARS-CoV-2. Now if we analyze the MPRO of SARS-CoV-2 and SARS-CoV as well as SARS-CoV-2 and MERS-CoV in comparison, we have seen that their structure is similar, and this is a very good active site for different agents. See here, we have utilized bonduselpin, glycopyranol, that means dimethoxy, flavone, another is ketoamide. This is control. Here we have seen that we know these agents were active against SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV, which were previously seen, but we are seeing that their targets, that means active sites, are very similar. So similar components derived from plants may be applied to get similar effect that we have got in case of SARS-CoV and MERS-CoV. Now the probiotic therapy. What are probiotics? We know the probiotics are live microorganisms that are required to consume adequately to get their physiological effect. What are the physiological effects? To modulate immune system. Now, these probiotic microorganisms are Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, Lactococcus, Bacillus, mainly the Lactobacillus. So these microorganisms have the ability to increase the amount of antibody. They can lessen the inflammatory activity and increase the phagocytic activity. So the infection rate is reduced. This may happen for bacteria, but may be applied for virus also, but further tests are required. They can produce different antimicrobial production. These are acids, hydrogen peroxide, and bacteriocin. Bacteriocin is low molecular weight protein, antimicrobial protein. And another interesting phenomenon is organic acid production, and in addition to this, butyrate through crossfeeding. What is crossfeeding? Lactobacilli cannot produce butyrate, but it can help other good bacteria in the intestine, which is known as Faecalibacterium. These are helped by lactobacilli by cross-feeding system. So butyrate is produced, and inflammation in the lungs and other tissues are reduced. Colonization, they can colonize, and so that they exhibit different physiological functions which are beneficial to the host body, and they have actually good interaction with the human system cell, as well as with different types of protein for best physiological activity. And some enzymes are secreted also by the lactobacilli probiotics, lactase and bile salt hydrolase. These are responsible for the reduction of, first one is reduction of blood lipoprotein, and this can utilize lactose, for which the individual who cannot tolerate lactose. So from this physiological activity, if we further give time in our research, then we can find best probiotic strains, because these have tri-directional activity. That means that they can colonize on the host human in the intestine epithelial cell, and can keep balance the bad bacteria or bad microorganisms in the intestine, and may get systematically, they may be they may exhibit effect which can be seen in case of lungs also, where the inflammation may be reduced with the utilization of probiotics. But for their physiological activity, such bacteria, that means probiotics, requires a substances specifically which are known as prebiotics, we have already told. And due to the presence of prebiotics, the allergy level is reduced, metal absorption is increased, and here the MCL is present, which is lymphocytic immune system cell, which have the power of engulfing antigen, and then it transfers the antigen to the phagocytic cell, so that the enzymes so that the antigens are destroyed, and so reduction level of infection is seen. And due to the production of different types of acids, acetic acid, butyric acid, and propionic acid, the pH level is reduced, and pH level reduction also causes the reduction of bad pathogens present in the bacteria. We have seen that if we use prebiotics with probiotics, then improved bowel clearance occurs, and thereby it effect on ghrelin and leptin that may provide our comfort and sleeping for our physiology, and also reduced inflammation. And so that if we justify this principle, ultimately we can prepare good probiotics which may be used against SARS-CoV-2 infection. And these are some Lactobacillus casei, gasseri, rhamnosus, plantarum, brevis, etc. Another genus are Bifidobacterium, Pediococcus. These also are utilized, these are reported, and they are good if we use without or with clinical treatment, clinical suggestion. But it may be better if we get suggestion from clinician whether or what type of lactobacilli which are available from market can we use. This is the pathway, and seeing that the SARS-CoV-2 infection that caused COVID secrete different types of molecules, some of which are responsible for hypercytokinemia. So hypercytokinemia may be caused, and if we utilize probiotics, then we may get effect viral clearance very easily. So probiotics have good effect, and we know there are no drugs specifically for the disease COVID-19. We are just trying to get. So if we give effort, we can develop good probiotics that may act against the disease. Therefore, in different active sites that we have already discussed, this is one site which against the red color are representative of available drugs, and these are active against different targets on which they are active and act against the virus. So if we collectively use these drugs which are already available in repurposing way, if we combine plant botanicals or probiotics, then we may achieve good result for the treatment or fight against the virus or the disease. But we know if a plant is good, maybe a edible plant, but any molecules derived from plants may be justified through different testing. Ultimately, clinical as well as preclinical treatment. That means test against mouse as well as human. And thereafter, we have to get the FDA approval, and then for marketing for the utilization of the plant-derived medicine. Similarly, if you justify some bad effects may be seen if you use probiotics, but not in healthy individuals. It may be immunocompromised patients, ulcerative colitis, AIDS, or persons with some underlying diseases or bronchitis. In such persons, we have seen that bacteremia, pneumonia, abscess, endocarditis are developed due to the infection of Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Acidophilus KZ, etc. But these are good probiotics. These are actually non-toxic and not non-disease causing, but maybe seen to cause disease in some cases which are immunocompromised. So we have to continue our research with phytochemicals to get active lead component, as well as probiotic research may be continued to get best probiotic that may be utilized in near future to fight the disease. These are the publications which are on the field of COVID-19. And ultimately, acknowledge goes to the World Infectious Disease Webinar Organizing Committee for recognizing my research, as well as Research Square, a part of work has been found as preprint here. Thank you.